Hey, it's another RAMMBOCK Dev Log update. I think we're on 5 now. I'm Nick, aka Hybrid Mink, and I'm working on a game called RAMMBOCK. It's a shoot 'em up, shmup. I've been spending most of this month on the first boss. I did a few other things as you go, and let's just get into it. Starting off, I'll just give you a little bit of a rundown, and then I'll show you what I've been working on. The boss art. Man, this guy I drew initially like a decade or so ago when I was working on my last game. And we're like, oh, let's make a shmup first. So I made the ship, and I made this like rough sketch of this boss. And over the years, it just got iterated on, until now it is what it is. Which is... this is code. This guy. The Scrapper boss shows up at the end of level 1. If you're wondering where all those satellites are coming from, this dude's chucking them, he's producing them, he's creating them. So it's kind of like this idea of the war is going on between these two moons, and it's all kind of happening over this planet, and all crap's falling on the planet, everyone's abandoned the planet, so they have these scrapper robots to clean shit up and make more satellites to throw into space. But this one is broken and defective, he's just old and abandoned. So you're fighting it because he's attacking you. You know, you don't have any grudge against him. He's just a robot. He doesn't know any better. But let's go through the list here. So first I had to reacquaint myself with files from like 3 years ago, because this art was kind of complete about 3 years ago, and then I went back into it and I cleaned it up and I made it just look a little nicer, because as you get better as an artist, you hate your old work, and honestly, making certain things highlighted makes the player drawn towards them, so I tried to separate things. The head was not separated, it was on the same layer as the body, and I'm like, you know, I'm going to want head animation, so I had to separate it. It was all in the same layer, so I had to like erase and clean and stuff, but that was done. Let's see. I had to look at my doc, see how the attack animations work. I'll show you that in a bit. The cracks, you might remember the cracks. I think I mentioned in the previous video on the sentry enemy, I decided to put some cracks in the head. His head's already cracked, you can see, but it gets even more cracked if you hit it with the ram. Let's see. The head. The head doesn't have the cracks component on it just yet, but we can go into the sprite, and you can see here's the base sprite without any of the eye glow, and then if I make it like really slow, like 0.1 frame per second, we can go like, no, play. Well, that's great. Oh, there it goes. Got 0.1 frame per second, not very fast. I don't know why I thought that. There we go. So now you can see his head gets a little damaged as you hit it with the ram. Let's go back to 0. I put it at 0 in the animation because the way Godot works is, if you're in the animation player, you could just pick the frames that you want. So I just put it at 0 FPS in the base animation, and then when I go into the animation player, that's where I do the animation work. If that makes no sense, don't worry about it. It's not important. So yeah, I did some of that as far as art is concerned. And then I started working on pathing. So you see these little paths here. I had these all over the place. You might have noticed in the level for enemies in the levels, but in that case, I put the enemy on the path, and then I have it go down the path. Here, it's going to spawn enemies from these 3 bays. Well, it already does. I'll show you in a sec. But it spawns enemies from these 3 bays, and then they go on that path. But I did not have anything in place for spawning things onto a path, so I had to figure that out. It was fine. It wasn't too bad. And then when the door is destroyed, it changes the attack logic. Again, I'll show you in a second. Just want to go through this list first. I created a thing called hurt box padding. I already have like 6 or 7 different area detections on every enemy. So I'm like, I'm going to create another one because the dash wasn't effectively hitting hitboxes the way I wanted, hurt boxes the way I wanted them to. It was like if it's going so fast, it would just pass through it. It's the whole thing. So I created hitbox padding so that, oh, this one is only hit by the dash, and that was pretty effective. But then I wanted to add collision to the body. Now, there was no collision on really anything. The things that kept the player in bounds were just like different calculations. It's like, all right, if you're this far over, you just stop, you're clamped in the screen. But in this case, you have a dash attack, and I don't want to be dashing through the body, so this is just the base collision of the body. There's also collision on the bays and whatnot, but just as an example, this is the invisible wall for the body. And originally, it was just like conformed to like the body, the shape, and I'm just like, you know what? It feels better if it's just a flat rectangle. But the dash would it would go through it, it would clip through it, and the reason was I was using a tween. And a tween is when you take something and you move its position, and then you use math to figure out how far it goes. It was not physics-based. Godot has built-in physics collision, but I was not using that. So I was just bypassing it completely. So I had to completely refactor the dash attack, which is the bane of my existence in this game at this point. I've redone it so many times. It took me so long. And then ultimately, it was mostly like 2 lines of code in one of my scripts that I hadn't been looking at. So, programming! I'm not good at it, but I feel like I can make a good game eventually. So yeah, I had to refactor the dash in order to work with collision, but now that works. The bay and the door logic, created some sound effects for when he gets hit, and I'll get to the other stuff later. I think I want to actually show you what this guy's like. He's obviously not finished, so I'm sure some things will not function the way I want them to. You can see in the sides here, these states lets me keep track of which state the boss is in, so I know if we're signaling properly. So I have those on at all times for the moment. But yeah, here he is. Oh, I left the cracks on. Well, that's disturbing. So yeah, here we have this. The arms are in the way. Normally, the bays would not fire unless the arms got out of the way, but I'm currently working on the arms. But right now I have like a bit of an RNG that tracks each of the 3 bays and this one arm attack, which I just worked on yesterday. I don't think that effect was in the right place. So yeah, it will cycle through these attacks. It has a catch in place, which prevents it from doing the same bay attack twice. But if you destroy a door, well, I'll wait till it's firing. So the door shutting stuff, that was a lot. But let's see. So this one blinks and then it opens up. Boom! Instantly shuts the door and it spills out of there. So now this attack will always be a spill, which is more dangerous and more enemies. But these ones will still fire off as normal, and we'll just get rid of another one. And it will spill. This one's a different type of spill. And which one's the arm's going to go? And then we'll just destroy this one. So now there's no bays, no bay doors available. When all the bay doors are gone, if it works, it should... didn't do it. Ow. When the doors are all gone, it's supposed to fire... Oh, you know what? That's when the arms are gone. When the arms are gone, it'll fire a different attack. But when you destroy this, the bay is gone, and it exposes this little red area, which hurts you. Gotta be careful. Oh, but that killed the other ones. So now he's in critical. Now in critical, by the way, there will be bullets. There will be bullets all over the place. But in critical, when he has no bays to fire, you'll get more arm attacks, you'll get more bullet fire. If the arms are gone and the bays are gone, more bullets. So there's a lot of if-then stuff. I wanted to have it sort of like a... I don't know, maybe you don't think of it this way, but I think of it like a punch-out boss fight, where it's you have very obvious animation tells. When you do one thing, the enemy will react in a different way. I feel like in a lot of shmups, you have attack pattern 1, attack pattern 2, maybe 3, and then you're done. Whereas here, it's more reactionary, more like an action game. I think I've made an action game by accident. You're definitely going to be able to ram this thing, the clamp, but that's not in place. I don't even have a hitbox on it right now. I can just walk right through it. But yeah, when you destroy the bays, it leaves these little danger zones, which... yeah, that hurts you. But his body's exposed, so now you can attack the whole body. And the head is going to have a special type of thing where you can only ram it, but right now you could just shoot past it. That also, this little animation with the head, I did yesterday as well. So if we restart, you get all the bays back, but getting the logic between the bays and the doors was just... it was like 2 weeks. It was so much because you have the doors closing, you have different interrupts. Right now, they're only at 1 health. They're going to have way more health than that. And, yeah, the way the enemies spawn, this one comes out at an angle. So, you can hit that one forward. You can hit it at an angle. It's all kind of, specific. So it just feels satisfying to actually hit these enemies into things. That's the whole name of the game. Yeah, you can destroy the base, and it does the thing. The doors, you might have noticed, had a little tink on it. A little thing. You can't shoot the doors. You have to get in close to destroy the base. So it's just advantage to being aggressive. And then I'll show you the other attack. If I destroy the doors, which I have a little thing here, remove arms. Alright. Oh, I do have my bullet state machine. I guess I could turn that on and show you, but it's pretty incomplete. So now, it does a diver attack. So technically, this arm is still showing, but pretend it's not there. Then I'll just do that every time. And I managed to get it so that... So this will still spill. This still does a spill attack. And if I destroy the bay, you'll still get the diver attack, but now it knows to only do 2 bays. And at one point, I was doing this, and it was like the logic was messed up. And it was like, oh, well, now we'll fire all 3, even though there's no bays. But now it all works pretty well. I am working on the arm attacks. I'm sure there will be complications, but I feel like the foundation is there. Because you look on the top up here, the top right, it's firing off the proper states like it's supposed to. Oh, watch out. It did. And that kills it because you do 1 damage on death. I have some ideas for tweaks to the player stuff as well. I had a couple friends play the game, and I have some pretty good feedback there. But yeah, once you destroy the base, you can hit the main body. I think that's the basic gist of the boss fight. I think the arm attacks are a really big part of this fight, so you'll have to wait till the next video for that. But I feel like the foundation is there, and they won't be nearly as hard as working on as the bays, which took like half the month. Let's see, what else did I say I was going to talk about? You might have noticed the sound effect. I combined a bunch of different sounds to make it like a like it's crying, like a banshee sound effect with a monster sound effect with a robotic thing, and then added reverb. So I think it's kind of cool. I don't know. So I was working on resolution scaling and exporting to different types of formats because I'm getting people to test it. I got it working on my phone, which is an Android. But triggers don't work if you use a Bluetooth controller, and Rumble doesn't work. Turns out, Android doesn't like either of those things. So, I have to figure out something. There might not be Rumble on it, but I'm targeting PC as the main platform. If I want to do Android at some point, I'm going to have to figure out triggers, because these are analog, and digital ones don't work quite as well. But it works on PC, so for now, I had to table it. I spent like a couple days on that. I'm like, I can't be wasting time on this. I created an input handler in order to try and figure that out, so that if I have, let's say, a controller and a keyboard, it knows, okay, we're using this. So it knows not to just receive inputs from everything. But right now, it's receiving inputs from everything. I kind of tabled that one as well, because it's not important at the moment, but I got that as a foundation for later. Very exciting stuff, I know. Yeah, I didn't really work on a lot of other stuff in the main level. Refactoring the dash and the collision physics, which I didn't really show off the collision physics, but, like, you can see that I can't, like, fly past this guy. When I dash, I hit a wall, and it stops. So I'm really glad I got past that. That was a really big hang-up. It's like here, see? This is a visible wall! Exciting! And then when I dash into this thing, it stops once. And sometimes it would stop twice, depending on the distance I was from it. That was a pain in the ass. But now, they all just stop once. And you could still do the ramp cancel from that. Had to refactor that, so just a lot of reworking things. Because of the dash. The dash just, like, forced me to change so much stuff. I can show you the bullets. The bullets are very temporary. I'm going to work on the bullets last. I feel like they'll be the easiest part. I already have my fire state in place. If you remember from an earlier video, I have all kinds of stuff like spreads, waves, homing shots, all different types of stuff in place. So I'll probably work on that after the arm attacks. So yeah, the bullets will come at you alongside the base. So see, all of a sudden, it's not quite so easy to get into close. These homing bullets, though, they're not going to be like that in the final game. But just to give you an idea of how they're going, they'll go in tandem with the bay attacks and the arm attacks. I feel like this boss is going to be more complicated than any other boss in the game. But at the same time, if you're playing a shmup, you usually play in level 1 more than any other level. At least I am, because I suck. That's probably the gist of what I got done. I don't know if it was a lot, believe it or not. So on tap, like I said, arm attacks, get the bullets in place. And I would love to have level 2. It's just outer space, and there's going to be asteroids, but I'd love to show some stuff from level 2 as well. I think I'm going to be doing a lot of refining in level 1. There's a possibility that I work on the tutorial stuff before that, but right now I want to get like the core gameplay stuff in. So I guess that's it, really. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Is there something you want to know specifically? Some ideas you have to give me for free that I can steal. But I already have so many ideas that I need to get to. I'm planning on changing up how the ship moves. Right now, when you hit something with a ram, you just kind of like stall out a little bit. I don't really like that. So looking at different ideas and making the game just feel better. And that's really it. If you want to support development of the game, you can check out my Patreon, patreon.com/hybridmig. You could come check me out on twitch.tv/hybridmig. Check out my Discord. I still take commissions. Like, there's lots of ways you could support this game, or just give this video a like. Share with your friends. I know these aren't the most exciting videos. These are more just a quick way for me to give you an update so I can get back to work. But maybe at some point I get someone to edit them and really make them fancy. If you're an editor, let me know if you want to work for free. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.